Hey, so today I have one of our star clients, Andrea, who's absolutely crushing it right now. So, Andrea, like what I really want to do is highlight like your journey, right? Because you have a lot of that grit, right? That I love, right? Like you've learned a lot, you've done a lot, like from just from us starting, right? So we were going over her stats before, like Andrea signed 13 new clients since working with us. Her lead flow is about 3 to 4 leads per day that people that engage that say, "Hey, I want a coaching offer." Her Instagram, Facebook is off the chart. That's growing, and that can be this can be a long video of us going over the specifics on how much it's grown. So, Andrea, like for the people that are watching, tell them like who you are, who do you help, and yeah, let's start with that first.
Okay, good. So I'm Andrea Lepsio, Coach Andrea, and I work with people who are basically aging. So I don't have a hard number, whether it's 40 plus, 50 plus. A lot of my clients are certainly 60s and 70s and older. And just people who are mostly women. I mean, mostly focused on women, but I have some men too. But women who are just realizing that they don't feel as well as they used to feel, and carrying groceries, et cetera, is more difficult, or they might have a particular fear of falling. Just things are starting to feel fragile, and I'm 100% focused on strength training as the most important thing that every single human being needs to do when they're aging. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great to strength train when you're younger, but once you're over 40, if you're not strength training, you're diminishing, period. Right. And I'm proud that I look as good as I do at 68. So I sort of don't look anywhere near my age, especially if, yes, I've got the gray hair, but if you look below the neck, I don't look anywhere near my age. So,
Amazing. Like Andrea, like for those of you guys that are like watching this too, like I used to do fitness coaching for about 7 years. So when I first met Andrea, I was like, I can relate to everything she's saying. And I always told her, I was like, dude, like, yeah, for your age, you're doing all these flexible stuff and everything. And I'm gonna link Andrea's Instagram as well that you guys can see it as well because it's amazing stuff. So Andrea, like what I really want to highlight right in the beginning, right? Like when I know we met about probably about a year before you actually started working with us.
yeah,
I believe it was about a year before that, right? And
yeah.
then we connected again. We hopped on a call. We're like, let's rock and roll, and the rest is history. So, Andrea, like, take us through the journey in the beginning. Like, when you came to us the second time, right? We had that conversation. What do you feel wasn't clicking for you at that time with your offer, your business? Like, why you reached out and why you're like, you know what? I really need the help.
Yeah, I mean, I said, I think when we were on the phone, we got on, and I was like, I don't have any money. I don't know. I'm not going to do anything. AJ, forget about it. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I think that was my attitude when we got on the call because I'd been burnt so many times. You know what I mean? I was 10,000 into this other guy who had been running my life for a year and running me nowhere.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing happened. Yeah, high level and ad spend. The 10,000 was what I hard cut him, not the ad spend was beyond that. And just completely unproductive. But he's not the first person that happened. I had
Mm.
a coach before that, completely unproductive. So I'd been burnt really a couple of times by people just like you, purported to be just like you. And but yeah, but some and I had lost faith that anything could ever change or be different.
Yeah.
Really, when we were talking, I thought, well, what's ever going to change? You know what I mean? And in a lot of ways, everybody has a similar approach, right? I think yours is more dialed in and refined and specific, right?
Hmm.
But everyone's going to train you how to do sales calls, right? Everybody's going to have do some kind of ad thing. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. So,
Yeah.
but I think that what I don't even know why you've been so magical for me because as I say, like when my Instagram blew up early January, I have no idea why. Let's just credit you, but I don't really know. I've been
Yeah.
doing I've been doing similar things for quite a while, and then all of a sudden I'm getting way more attention. So,
Yeah.
but I do think I think it's your precision, I think, basically that makes a difference compared to
Yeah.
other coaches. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like it's very specific, it's very precise
Mhm.
what you're asking us to do.
Yeah, so I want to highlight something that you said, right, about like being burned before, right? Because a lot of coaches come to us, and I think every coach and consultant at one, now I think where the market's at has been burned, have been scammed, have been something, right? So I think that your case is actually not uncommon. Like I've been burned for $50,000 at one point. So
Oh,
I
right, right.
yeah, so everyone so when I hear coaches talk about that, right, it's um it's a tough situation, right? And I always tell coaches, right, is whenever they've been burned before, right, and then a new investment comes along, right, that is going to be the one that unlock it. A lot of times what happens with these coaches is that they let that bad investment cost them what they paid, but also cost them the future dream outcome because now they're scared to invest, right? So if we were to like zone back into like that moment where you're like, okay, let me give this a third try, right? You come on in, like, take us through that. Because when you came to us, I know that we, of course, helped you with your DMs, your sales process, your offer. Like, we just fine tune a lot of stuff, right? Because where you were at is you were in some momentum, but there was some chinks in the armor that we just need to help you tighten up.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think I had I don't think I had much momentum when yeah. I don't think I had a lot of momentum at that moment in time, but yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so you come on in, right? We get on our call, we help you with your sales process, all that stuff, right? So that first 30 days, because I feel like it's very, very crucial, like for you specifically. What do you feel was clicking? If you were to go back and be like, okay, what started clicking? And you're like, okay, I need help with this. Oh, I see that this is working out. Oh, I didn't think about this. Like, take us through that.
Well, and I never did it. I never did a good job with this part of it, but you were talking about the difference between doing uh actually obviously DMing followers, starting a conversation with people who have followed you on Instagram, which is slightly warmer. And then you talked a lot about doing cold outreach, looking at other trainers' accounts. So you sort of see
Yeah.
people that are commenting there, right? And I did some of that, but I never did a lot of that,
Yeah.
of the cold outreach stuff. But I tried to do some of it, but I would just listen to you and you would say, these are the things you need to do, or I would watch your classes and, discussions of what to do. And I would put that in my calendar. I've got to do these things. And I would just I started to just do them,
Yeah.
and be consistent with it. Yeah. And, and we did, yeah, and we refined my offer. We decided to focus on women because I wasn't specifically focused on women, and I thought that was a fine solution. And we actually lowered it. We actually The original offer was 30 plus.
Mm.
Was your original idea? It's just kind of women 30 plus. And I like 30 because 30 is the moment where your muscles diminish if you don't keep
Yeah.
training them. So I don't mind 30 as a number because I think it's an instructive number. So that's what, yeah, we ended up doing. Although then, and I think I told you at the time, my demographics were younger on Instagram
Hmm.
before I grew. But then once I started to grow on Instagram, the demographics shifted to older once I grew.
Yeah.
And probably the Facebook growth is older. So I think it's fine. I think so. I don't make a big deal about age right now. Like I just glanced at my Skool community and it just says structured strength training for women who are done guessing. So it's not even calling out by age. It's just kind of calling out the need, the
Yeah.
problem and the need. So yeah.
Yeah, because I feel that if we were to go back to those 30 days, right, looking back on like working together, I mean, knowing you, how you are, right, I feel like the thing that you needed to help the most with was just your overall sales process, right? Getting them on the phone, like overcoming objections, following up, which is crazy, right? When you follow up your leads, people that are watching this, like what happens, right? So let's talk about like your sales process because I feel like a lot of coaches, when we hop on calls with them, me or the team, or when I talk to coaches, that they try to hide away from getting on sales calls or they don't like to get on sales calls because it's just overall it's a skill ability that they're not confident in their ability, right? So I really want to zone in with you because I feel like it'll be helpful for people watching. Like, what are the key takeaways that you were learning, like when it comes to your outreach, your sales process, your sales calls, basically anything sales? Like, I really want to hear that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the sales calls are really important. And I am comfortable talking to people. So I never mind getting on the phone with somebody is a comfortable situation for me. So that essentially I never minded that. But I was really dreadful at objection handling. And I'm still not great at it, right? Because it's just like I just fold, you know. I just fold. I'm not good at those great questions I've learned from you and Nick of saying of kind of trying to reframe and saying, I understand that you're saying that you want to have some time to think about this, but let me ask you, does the program sound like something that would help you solve the problem that you're facing, and that can be specific about the problem. You know what I mean? I was just never good at staying in the conversation
Yeah.
and, not just kind of letting them get me off the phone because they don't have the money. Yeah. And I really, my old coach was worse than it's been lately, where like practically every lead was on disability. Like I was getting these insanely unqualified leads, which was also a problem I was having for quite a while. Um,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, I mean, and if somebody really is on, disability, then I'm happy to sort of say, you know what, let me invite you into my Skool community, which is free and is going to stay free.
Yeah.
And that can be a comfortable place for you to start. And then if you get down the road and you want to have another conversation, we'll have another conversation. So I just try to keep people in the community by saying, keep people in communication by taking them into the community if they really have no resources.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So overall, right, I really want to talk about the objection handling part that you just mentioned, right? Because a lot of coaches that watch this, they feel that, right? They're like, yeah, I get on calls and people say it's too expensive or that they can't afford it, and they always say, oh no, all my leads cannot afford it. They cannot, right? But in reality, it's always 9 out of 10 times it's just a skill issue overcoming objections, right? Because I would say throughout all my years of taking calls, right, if I take 30 in a row, one two, if I'm lucky, will go clean through. Like just it's just not likely, right? It doesn't happen that way. So I really want to zone in, right? You get obviously you signed 13 clients, right? Some of them, were your warm audience, people that knew you that, right?
yeah,
Some of them were
yeah,
cold, strangers that did not know you, right?
yeah.
But even in general, right, you've gotten objections, right, throughout all these calls, these new clients that you signed up, right? Like how the number one is like when do you feel like it started clicking where you're like, oh, I'm onto something now. I feel more confident with this objection handling. And oh yeah, things are clicking well. I'm like, man, I never chatted with leads like this. Now I'm chatting with them. Like take us through that part.
I still feel like I need to get better at it.
We all do,
Like
don't worry.
I still could get better at it. But yeah, I think giving space, not over talking, right? Like that rule of like say the price and then be quiet and just listen to what they have to say and how soon they are ready to speak,
Mhm.
right? And not lose patience and not over talk and over explain at that critical moment in time. And and just listen really really carefully and answer their questions. Um, and for some people you do have to give them options. The biggest option I've given is I do some of the people sign up for the 3 months, and some people really just want to sign up for 1 month,
Mhm.
and I have been allowing that,
Mhm.
right? Because I have a lot of confidence that if you spend a month with me, you might spend 5 years with me. So I'm not, you know what I mean? So I'm not worried about it. So I'm willing to do that. So that's
Yeah.
one of the way, so and I was sort of preparing myself to be flexible in the sense that so my program is 1,500, which is, it's not that much money for 3 months. Probably, a year from now it should be 2,500 or something, but right now it's
Yeah.
1,500. But that does include time live with me if they want it. They can have a certain amount of live coaching time with me at that price point. So if somebody is really tight on money and they don't really want to do that, then I'll sort of say, well, there's a lower tier where you get your custom program, but it's all on the app, and you've less of my time, right? But I haven't had to, like, I was prepared to go down that road when I was selling less, and it's turned out that I've never yet had to go down that road. Everybody's kind of dialed up to the
Sweet.
main thing. So they're either
Amazing.
paying me $500 or they're paying me $1,500.
Love it, love it. So, like Andrea, like you're in momentum, like you're doing great. Like, keep doing the work, as I always say, keep doing the boring work, and you're getting lead flow based off you being consistent with your content. You learning these new strategies. Like everything is clicking for you, right? And it makes me proud because I still remember our first conversation like almost 2 years ago, when we first had our very first phone call a while ago. I wish I still had that recording, but it makes me proud to see where you're at right now. So one as we wind this down, one question I do want to ask is the people that are watching, right? That were where you're at, right? Whether they've been burned by a bad business coach or whether they have not even invested in the program, right? But they're struggling for a couple months, a couple years. They're posting content, they're not doing the work. They see our content or they just need help. Like, what would you tell that person like to do, like right now at the situation? Like, why should they work with us, basically?
Because again, it's a precise um, solution to getting clients and growing your business,
Hmm.
right? And I was really, you were talking about this the other day, of kind of like that some people only want like 10K and somebody else might want 100K, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, if you get me around 10K, I'm kind of like, I'm pretty cool. You know what I mean? I mean, I may be shocked in what growth could potentially be, but I'm starting to be pretty cool right now, right? But it really is to get back to, it's like whatever level you're dreaming of, it's a precise road to get there, right? And I've been on lots of bumpy roads in the past, as we've talked about. So it's a road that says specifically what to do. Here's how to do your outreach. Here's how to do your social media. Here's how to do your sales calls. And it's all really precise. And there's constant coaching, right? So I can be on a call with AJ twice a week. I can be on a call with Nick 3 times a week, really drilling in on sales
Mhm.
calls. So there's a tremendous amount of attention that you're offered by AJ and Client OS. So that's really going to help you get there if you do the work. And I know you have some clients who are doing the work and some clients who are doing less of the work. And it's really like, if you show up for yourself and go through each of the steps, you're going to be successful. And I'm not even, and I'm not, I'm actually, I'm okay on YouTube because I've been on YouTube for a while. So I'm not bad on YouTube. I'm
Mhm.
not even using the YouTube resources that you have right now, the wonderful coach you have for YouTube, because I just don't have time for it at the moment, but
Yeah.
I'll get there. But just tremendous resources that you're providing us, and support. And as I say, it's just the precise detail of like, do these 10 things and it's going to happen. And in point of fact, it is happening for me. So
Love it.
it
Love it.
works.
Well, Andrea, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do this. I'm looking forward to see how where you are another 6 months from now, like
Woo!
continue to working with you and supporting you. I appreciate you, and let's just keep getting it. See you
I
later.
appreciate you.